Does every movement in Tai Chi need a specific way of breathing? A lot of people think so. But this is one of the biggest misunderstandings in Tai Chi practice. Many people are taught to mechanically coordinate every movement with a fixed inhale or exhale. For example, breathe in here, breathe out there. Over time, breathing becomes something we constantly think about. But more often than not, forcing the breath creates tension instead of relaxation, and artificial movement instead of natural movement. When people become too focused on controlling their breathing during practice, things often start to go wrong. The first thing that usually appears is tension. We start thinking constantly, did I breathe in correctly? Was that inhale or exhale? Did I lose the rhythm? And the moment this happens, the body often becomes tighter instead of more relaxed. Sometimes people even start holding their breath without realizing it, especially when movements become more complex and require more concentration. Another thing that starts to happen is that the movement no longer feels fully connected. The body wants to move naturally, but the mind is trying to force a breathing pattern onto the movement. And little by little, Tai Chi starts to feel mechanical instead of fluid. Slow on the outside but tense on the inside. This isn't real relaxation. So if forcing the breath creates all of these problems, what should breathing in Tai Chi actually be like? The answer is simple. Just breathe naturally and stop worrying about it. Think about how breathing works in everyday life. When you walk, your breathing adjusts naturally. When you run, it adjusts naturally. When you climb a flight of stairs, it adjusts naturally. You don't consciously tell yourself when to inhale and when to exhale. The body already knows how to do that. The same principle applies to Tai Chi. As your movement changes, your breathing will naturally adapt. As your skill improves, your body will naturally develop a way of breathing that matches the way it moves. You don't have to force that process. The same idea also makes sense when we look at how the body works. Breathing is already an automatic process. The body constantly adjusts it based on movement, balance, effort, coordination, and many other factors. The more we try to control every breath, the more we risk interfering with a process that is already happening naturally. Tai Chi is deeply rooted in traditional Chinese philosophy. One of the central ideas in this philosophy is that things should happen naturally, without unnecessary force or control. In other words, don't try to control what doesn't need to be controlled. Instead of worrying about the breathing, focus on refining the movement itself. Pay attention to your posture, your balance, your coordination, and the details of your movement. Step by step, improve the details of each movement and execute them with precision. This is what truly matters. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.